Hello everyone. In this video I'll be translating and summarizing the latest Urdu broadcast by Aftab Iqbal to make it accessible for our English-speaking audience. Let's go through the key developments and insights in Aftab Iqbal's words. Over the past few days, I couldn't find a suitable topic to discuss, nor was I feeling particularly inclined to speak on anything, so I thought it would be better to spare you for a while. You also know that my topics are usually a bit different. I try not to touch on micro-issues like inflation, lawlessness, injustice, or oppression. There are people far better than me at explaining those things, especially those who are witnessing this humiliation firsthand. Who can narrate better than them? However, there are some topics that I consider not just micro in nature, but existential, not merely fundamental. These issues are not just about your well-being, but about your survival. So whether I want to or not, my rhetorical veins start throbbing and I present myself for service once again. If you look at it today, my topic is your ignorance, your carelessness. That is, in your opinion, nothing serious is happening that should cause concern. Whatever is happening is just rain, storm, floods, inflation, electricity bills, is all being perceived as routine. But far more serious matters are unfolding, which you simply do not see. Yet many others do see them and are trying to warn you, though subtly. The problem is, in our society, suffocation has reached such a point that even issuing a warning, ringing an alarm, or giving a heads-up is considered a crime. And if someone dares ask what's so wrong in doing so, the simple answer they receive is, "What's your problem? Let things go as they are. Why do you want to cause unrest? You'll create a stir. You'll drag things toward panic. Investors won't come." As if they were coming in the first place. People like me and many others are still stuck on that Jannati Beach investor. These sinful eyes have never seen any other investor, not even from a distance, a very long distance. Now, if I talk about Indo-Pak tensions, a ready-made answer comes up. When have they not existed? This has been going on for 78 years. What's new? Then we humbly ask, "Sir, has what happened just a few days ago ever happened before? In the past 54 years, has your area ever been attacked? Have you ever bombed Indian territory?" Again, a ready-made answer. So what? You saw, it went on for a few days, some third parties got involved, and then it was over, all done and dusted. So everything continues under this same mindset. All attention is focused on non-issues, on unproductive matters. Our intellectual discussions revolve around superficial topics, and nothing of substance will come from it. The country continues to suffer by the hour. Every single hour, every single day is inflicting irreversible damage, and yet we remain utterly unaware. Not a shred of concern. By concern, I don't mean you start crying and wailing. I mean, make arrangements, make preparations. And what preparations have you made? So far, the biggest so-called achievement is that Field Marshal Hafiz met the esteemed president at the White House. President Donald Trump, the man who is now not even recognized by his own family, the same man whom international media calls chaos in a storm. Is there any kind of disaster or problem that he hasn't created for himself? Every kind of humiliation and disgrace he has gathered around him like a storm cloud. And what did we do with all that disgrace and humiliation? We had lunch, and from that lunch emerged the fantasy that we'd win the Nobel Peace Prize. And you saw what happened to that fantasy. It met the same fate as many of our slogans and ambitions have met. Now let's talk about the real ground situation. What's actually happening? Don't you see the same bloodshed again, the same terror, the same BLA, the same terrorism? Can't you see a repeat of the February-March situation from last year? Isn't the same Jaffa Express environment being recreated? The only difference is back then it was a train. Now it's buses. Pakistanis are being pulled off vehicles and gunned down. Soldiers are being martyred in cold blood. And it's all happening as if randomly. But I've said this before. You'll remember these words. These are not random. These are key terms, cue words. Remember them. And it's not just one signal. There are many now. It started with a few, now there are countless. Whenever you see such events unfolding, oh my naive king, don't think of them as random. No one is going to tell you. No government agency will inform you. No TV channel dares whisper in your ear. In fact, those channels themselves don't even know. And even if they do know, they're not allowed to speak. But all this that I can see happening, it is extremely dangerous. Why I can see it, and you cannot, I honestly have no idea. In India, for the first time in a long time, a new civil defence manual is being drafted. Between 1.5 and 2 million new volunteers are being recruited. A full training plan for them has been prepared. Military purchases worth $13 to $14 billion have already been made. I'd mentioned all this to you a week ago, so if all this is happening, even if it is, then fine. Maybe it is going to happen. This is nothing. These are routine matters. The real shock to your mind will come when you hear the next part. Have you noticed that in 3 countries a long-forgotten affair of love has suddenly rekindled? They are now strengthening their bonds of friendship. China, Russia and India. India was already a major trade partner of China, but now, siding with Russia, India has thrown all caution to the wind. It outright defied Europe, essentially saying, to hell with your sanctions, who are you to warn me? India made it clear. I used to buy oil from Russia before, and I'll keep doing it. That's real strength, that's courage. If only we could say the same. If only we had the guts to say we'd buy oil from Iran. But no, we chose the safety of smuggling instead. What's more worrying is our inability to even say no to sanctions, not even once. You may have noticed that yesterday, the United States officially declared the Resistance Front, linked to Lashkar-e-Taiba, a global terrorist group, and added it to its list of highly dangerous organizations. At first, China responded with a weak, dismissive statement, but now it has adopted Washington's language, saying what happened in Pahalgam was major terrorism and these groups are responsible, that these are foreign terrorist groups and should be rooted out. What policy led to this? Whose foolish strategy has brought this upon us? And what is our Foreign Office doing? In fact, what can the poor Foreign Office even do? I believe that lunch at the White House was no different than when a general once waved a teacup in Kabul in some kind of delusional victory pose. Similarly, our other general, or should I say field marshal, had that lunch in Washington, D.C. and ruined everything in one stroke. We need to seriously think about what's going on. How did China, Russia and India suddenly come together? And who stands with you? If you think the United States is on your side, that's wishful thinking. The only person with you is someone whose neighbors don't even trust him, Donald Trump. Possibly the most disgraced United States president since Jimmy Carter. The same Trump whose actions are destroying American democracy and its economy, and who is likely to be destroyed himself by the Epstein files. Just 2 days ago, India successfully tested Prithvi 2 and Agni 1, nuclear-capable ballistic missiles. Was this random? No. Rajnath Singh personally celebrated it and congratulated the military. I'm sure Pakistan will respond in kind because we also have such formidable missiles. So again, is all this happening randomly? Just wait a little longer and you'll start to understand the direction things are heading. You'll remember my words. They'll haunt the boots, the military brass for a long time. I once said, we're just one event away from full-scale war. Don't forget that. I didn't say that randomly either. You can, of course, mock my instincts if you want. No problem. But just observe. I haven't said much in recent days. Many have talked endlessly about the floods and the rains. I didn't, because if the point is only to fill airtime or boost channel ratings, I'm not here for that. I don't like speaking on issues unless I have true insight, unless I have seen something myself or felt it through reliable sources. When I'm unsure, I believe it's better to let others who are on the ground and directly witnessing the events do the talking. But unfortunately, these current topics are invisible to those who are right at the edge, those who should be seeing everything clearly. But if you believe that nothing is going to happen, and that this is just another alarm from Mr. Aftab's malfunctioning internal alert system, then be warned. Even a faulty alarm rings for a reason. Something always does happen. Now let's move to another aspect of the current situation, the various characters involved, like Baba Banaras and Markor. Baba is on that side, Markor is on ours. Each keeps singing their own tune, mocking each other. But Baba Banaras keeps repeating one thing, directly addressing Pakistan's DG ISPR. He warns, if you try any terrorist activity during the Amarnath Yatra, you will be wiped off the face of the earth. In other words, come and try it. We're giving you an open invitation. Come make your move. Our side needs to understand the real meaning behind that. Our friends surely do. So, make preparations, raise your voices, use whatever forums you have. Instead of giving pointless interviews, chasing cryptocurrency trends, or running after the next shiny object, focus on what truly matters. Raise the alarm, inform people, tell them what's unfolding. A false flag operation might already be in motion. The groundwork may have been laid, something has likely already happened behind the scenes. It wouldn't be surprising if they do something under the pretext of a preemptive strike. Now a new wave of noise is erupting. Reports claim that Maulana Masood Azhar has been spotted in Kashmir. From Bahawalpur, that's over 1,000 kilometers away, deep into the mountains. In other words, they're signaling something is cooking. The pot is on the stove. So, do your own propaganda. Why aren't your television channels making noise? Why aren't your journalists speaking out? Ladies and gentlemen, this state of obliviousness and indifference is deeply upsetting. When I see Pakistan surrounded by these rulers, by these conspirators, by these politicians, and by the forces even above them, I can't help but recall a haunting couplet I've quoted dozens of times on my show. And I'll conclude with its translation today. I am an orphaned prince, trapped in conspiracies. Some hidden dagger is out searching for me. That wraps up our translation of Aftab Iqbal's video. I hope this English version helped you understand his message better. Please like, share and subscribe to Awami Lens to help our community grow. Don't forget to leave a comment below and let me know what you thought of this effort.